Hello there, ladies and gentlemen. Moletrap here, coming at you with another StarCraft 2 commentary. And so this is a game between GaryOak, who's a Terran player up here, and Jester, who's going to be the blue Zerg player down here at the bottom. Now this was a game that was recommended by Joe of Joe.2. And by the way, if you play Team Fortress 2, then you should definitely go to the Joe.2 server. Best server there is anywhere for everything. I used to play on the Joe.2 Counter-Strike server, and it was pretty much the only place that I would play Counter-Strike because it was the most awesome place. Primarily because of the people, actually. The people there are really cool. So, anyway, so if you're into TF2, check that out. Anyway, he recommended a game a while back that Diggity ended up casting. It was a Nexus Wars video. And by the way, these guys are going to chat a little bit. I have seen this game before. I casted this entire game and then went to process it and discovered that my recording program, Fraps, had not actually turned on when I had double-clicked the icon before. So none of it got recorded, and I was just talking to myself for a while. So I have seen this before, so I can tell you that A, they're gonna discuss strategy here in the chat a little bit, and B, I can tell you these guys are probably both silver level players, is what I'm thinking from what they were doing before. So anyway, just keep that in mind. This is not a pro replay, but Joe recommended this replay, and it was this silly Nexus Wars video that Diggity casted, and it was kind of silly. And so Joe said, "Oh, dude, why haven't you done the replay I sent you?" He sent me another one. I said, "Dude, 'cause you sent dumb replays." And he's like, "What are you talking about, man? The Nexus Wars was a mistake." So I'm like, "Okay, fine. Well, you can't blame me for thinking." He's like, "Yeah, the Nexus Wars was a dumb replay, but that doesn't mean every replay I send is gonna be dumb." I'm like, "Well, 100% of the evidence pool, anyway." So here I am. I'm going to cast this game, and I'm going to let you, the viewer, decide whether or not the replays that Joe sends me are worthy of casting. So anyway, but like I said, keep in mind these are silver level players. So here you go, Joe. I'm casting your replay. Anyway, GaryOak getting his orbital command here. Got his barracks. Got a Marine running around, gonna try and hunt down overlords or what have you, I guess, getting a factory in the background. Pretty standard play from both these guys so far. Looks like Jester thought about getting some gas and then decided not to. Anyway, yeah, so by the way, just a random StarCraft 2 related thing. Let's see, Jester's decided not to... Okay, never mind, he's getting queens. I watched the GSL Team League the other day, and I was not sure if I wanted to pay the $5 for it. I'm like, $5 for 7 sets? I don't know about that. I don't know. It doesn't seem like it might be worth it. It's $5, especially when the regular season was 10 for like all these games. Anyway, apparently when GaryOak asks people what they think is most imba about Terran, they say mules generally. Interesting. Whereas Jester doesn't like siege tanks. Good to know. Anyway, but the point being, my point is that the GSTL was off the hook, especially the finals. So just keep that in mind. I thought it was well worth it. I just thought I'd throw that out there. The round of 8, meh. You don't have to watch the round of 8. It wasn't that particularly interesting. But the semifinals were pretty good, and the finals were just ridiculous. Very, very awesome. And I won't say anything about who won anything, but I will say that I called it. I said to Diggity right before I started watching the first set, or like the second. No, yeah, I think it was the first set. I said this team is going to win the GSTL. Just you watch, and it was the team that won. I knew it. Anyway, I'm sorry, not Vulture. Hellion running in here is going to come in here and engage these Zerglings, get a couple shots off, and now they're all very, very badly damaged. One more line of fire will be all it takes to burn those guys up, and he does, in fact, get a few more shots off, roasting all of those Zerglings. Nice. Nicely done with that Hellion. No damage, 4 kills, not a bad Hellion at all. And, whoa, he's got a star... I'm sorry, I should have kept the production tab up. There's a fusion core over here, and he's building a battle cruiser. GaryOak is going for 1 base battle cruisers, and this is something that confused me for like an entire minute when I first watched this game. I was like, weapon refit? What's a weapon refit? Where is that upgrade? I don't see it. What's it? Is it a tech? I don't understand. It's not on the tech lab. Apparently, the Yamato cannon upgrade is called weapon refit and has a different icon. Oh my god, those Zerglings could be in for it. Oh, tons of damage being done. A couple more shots will do it. Come on. Yes, flames. More flame. Oh, come on. They're almost all... most of those Zerglings were almost dead, and you have 3 full health Hellions. You should have killed those Zerglings so bad. Anyway, yeah, so he's going for 1 base battle cruisers and getting the Yamato cannon upgrade for it. Looks like he does have the upgrade, but not enough energy. It takes a lot of energy apparently for the Yamato cannon. Wow, is that okay? That's 200. Never mind. I thought it was 300. I was like, whoa, that's a lot of energy. I guess let's see. Increases starting energy by 25, so you get closer to that Yamato cannon. And here we go. GaryOak coming out with a battle cruiser. He's kind of smiling about that. Now, if this is the thing, battle cruisers are a little bit vulnerable. They're not really they can be good, but they also can be bad. But the point is he's got a battle cruiser which is extremely good anti-ground. You can see how fast it fires. It does small amounts of damage, which is perfect for dealing with Zerglings. And he's got Hellions, which are another hard counter to Zerglings, and he's got Marines, which also do very well against Zerglings. And all Jester has is Zergling tech. He's got the Bangling Nest as well, which actually do reasonably well against Hellions. It doesn't seem like they should, but they actually do okay against Hellions, and of course they do well against Marines. So if he can get some Banelings out, maybe. He's got 6 Banelings morphing over here. If he can get these into play, he might be able to take out that ground army. But, oh man, everything is going down. He's just got nothing for the BC. Oh no! The drones going up! They're going up! Oh my gosh! 2 lines of fire! 3 lines of fire roasts! A ton of drones all in a row! Wow, GaryOak claiming that he's done horrifying damage. Not terrible damage, but horrifying. And there's those Banelings just chilling, not doing much of anything. He's producing some Mutalisks and Corruptors, actually. I didn't see the Spire in the background. I apologize for that. Here he comes in with those Banelings. They are slow, and they weren't on creep. Now they're on creep. Now he's going to be able to own these. Oh, actually not doing optimal damage with those Banelings against the Marines. Oh, come on. If he can land 1 Baneling, he could probably blow up at least 2 of those Hellions. Anyway, so second battle cruiser coming in here. Now, there's 6 Corruptors of what it looks like. Yamato Cannon's one of them. Nice. But it looks like these Corruptors are going to win the day as against these battle cruisers. They do sick damage. Sick damage versus anti-air. And apparently, oh, they do extra damage versus massive. Oh, okay, that's interesting. So, oh, that's why they're so good against Colossi. They do extra damage versus massive. Battle cruisers, of course, being massive. Spire first is dangerous, yo, says GaryOak. Yeah, man. You shouldn't go Spire first. That's dangerous, because going 1 base BCs is a very safe build. Anyway, looks like these 2 Mutalisks that he has are trying to do some harassment. The double Mutalisk harass, the bane of every Terran's existence. Not just 1 Mutalisk, but 2 Mutalisks harassing at the same time. GaryOak is really bunkering down here. He's got a bunker. He's getting, well, actually, that's just never mind. He's just got the 1 bunker in the middle of his base. Getting more barracks, engineering bay, etc., some upgrades, all that kind of thing. What was I saying before? Oh, yes, I wanted to brag one more time, actually, that I was speaking of winners that I've predicted. Oh, more Mutalisk harass. Run those SCVs away. These Mutalisks do 9 damage each. It'll take them like only 5 hits to kill an SCV. Oh dear. Yes, I also wanted to mention that I realized that back when SC Reddit interviewed me like a couple months ago or something like that, they asked me who I thought was someone to look out for in StarCraft 2, like who was gonna be a person that was gonna do well in StarCraft 2, and I said MVP. Yes, indeed. I called sort of the GSL 4 season winner. So I just wanted to brag about that as well, basically. Anyway, Alright, so some Mutalisks coming in. He's now got a decent clump of Mutalisks running in here. And actually, even though that was sort of oblique, I even thought that at the beginning of Season 4 too. I was like, you know what? I think MVP's going to take it this season. And he did. Hopefully that's not a spoiler. It's been a while though. So, engaging these Marines directly with the Mutalisks. And look at these. He's put down a point defense drone actually in a really good spot. So it's going to be able to catch those Mutalisks fire just barely at the edge of that battle. For first few Marines died. If they'd fallen back a little bit, they would have been within range of that. Anyway, defense drone doing a lot to stop the damage of these Mutalisks. Nicely done. And but he is going to clean up those Marines. The defense drone's almost out of energy now. I'm sorry, I'm kind of jerking the camera around a little bit. But there's no Marines left. Finally, a few Marines pop out here and are able to fend that off, but he didn't have any Marines left. He's just got these Ravens. In the background, more Banelings being made and more Zerglings and what have you. And again, not really that good of a choice against this kind of units with the tanks and what have you. I mean, you need Banelings, I guess. You need Banelings and Lings. Never mind. You need them for mass infantry. But again, it's like, you know, well, GaryOak has 6 Marines. So that's not really... yeah, it's not like he has to have a bunch of Banelings to deal with that or something like that. And he's not making any more battlecruisers, which is kind of interesting. More Mutalisks being produced, so he's spending pretty much most of his gas on Mutalisks here. He's finally getting that second base back up again. Does he have... Okay, he's finally researching Baneling speed as well. So that's good. Mutalisks diving back in to do some more harassment. Those 6 Marines trying to hold things off. Dying almost immediately until he gets barely within range of that point defense drone. Another one has been put up as well. He's really bullish on the point defense drones, and really if he didn't have those point defense drones, he'd be pretty screwed because those Marines are not very many in number, and he for some reason is not building many turrets. Okay, he's got turrets in his main supply line now, but here come those Mutalisks actually running in, just trying to deplete the energy of those point defense drones. And he's, again, there's no Marines. There's a few Marines back here, but they're not attacking these guys for some reason. And so they're able to kill off a depot and get out of dodge. So nicely done on that part. Baneling speed is almost upgraded, so that's going to make these Banelings and Lings pretty good. Pretty good stuff. He's just continuing to produce lots and lots and lots of Zerglings. And the Terran, again, continuing to just make a bunch of random stuff here. Lots of Marines, couple Ravens. Is he still producing Ravens? He's still producing Ravens. And he's not getting any upgrades for the Ravens though, which could be cool if he was getting a lot of Ravens. 100 Sequel missiles can be fun. Anyway, a lot of siege tanks on the top here. Jester's getting a little feisty here. Did you expect to win already? Ha ha ha! I'll bet you thought you won when you killed my base, but I'm building some Mutalisks. Anyway, he's got a lot of siege tanks here, and so here's the thing: it's an interesting position. These Mutalisks coming in from some more harassment. All those Zerglings and Banelings are going to do horribly against those siege tanks in the position that they're at right now. You know, what are these Ravens going to do? Just coming along for the ride, just to make sure there's no cloaked Mutalisks, I guess. If the Zerglings get caught up on the side of these bunkers and coming up the ramp and what have you, these tanks are going to slaughter them. Just absolutely slaughter them. Now, if the Terran moves out into the open field, then it'll be much worse for the Terran player. The Zerglings will actually do fairly well against tanks unless there's adequate support. And you guys have a decent amount of Marines, actually. But Zerglings are going to do pretty well in general against those tanks if they're out in the open field and they don't have a choke point to kind of funnel the Zerglings and get lots of splash damage. And he is upgrading the Seeker missiles. And I actually wasn't... I remember he got that from the first time I watched that, but I honestly wasn't even thinking about that when I said it a moment ago, like, oh, Seeker missiles are cool. I was just thinking, like, oh, he's got a lot of Ravens, he should do something with them. And so he's going to have Seeker missiles pretty soon, and he's got energy, I think, for Seeker missiles on at least... yeah, one of them just about is gonna, yeah, just has enough right now. So he's gonna have Seeker missiles prepared. Getting a third orbital here. I guess he's planning on floating it over to this base, although again he doesn't really have too much map control at this point. He hasn't really moved out to secure the outside there. I like the Thor to go ahead and fend off these air units. Ooh yeah, I got it! Thors! Yeah! Alright! Oh, okay. Jester's like, that's what he wants to get rid of. He figured it out from the question earlier. Okay. Wants to get rid of Thors. What I got Mutas for then? Yeah, it's true. Thors are pretty good against Mulisks, especially if you combine them with Marines. I mean, you know, when there's Mutalisk harass, if you don't know how to deal with Mutalisk harass, get a Thor and like a group of a dozen Marines maybe, and camp them in your main, and that little group can hold off Mutalisks unless there's just a crap ton of Mutalisks. It'll usually help hold off that kind of harassment. Anyway, he does have a very, very, very cool, very large group of Mutalisks built up though. 15 Mutalisks, and that starts to get pretty dangerous when you've got that many mutas. Especially if, you know, depending on where you engage. If he just engages directly, it's not going to be any good at all. He comes in here. How is he not within range of that turret? It's just picking off that refinery for free. Nice. And the tank's unfortunately getting in the way, stopping GaryOak from getting his attack units over there to actually attack the mutas. And uh-oh, what are these ravens? Is he going to go for Hunter Seeker missile, like, sniper attack? Oh my gosh, there's a ton of stuff clumped up over here. He could Seeker them. Is he gonna do it? No, he's gonna fly away. And the mutas are gonna chase him down. Oh, he cast one. Oh, he gets a Seeker off on the mutas. I think he casted 2 Seekers. Wow. Or maybe one. The other one got, I don't know what has happened there, but he got 1 Seeker missile off at least and just obliterated those Mutalisks. Wow. That was actually pretty cool. Didn't he have another Raven around? Where's that other Raven? Oh, he's producing one. Sweet, I wanted to double check how much damage they did. 100 area damage. Okay. And the Mutalisks have 120 hit points. So he must have landed 2 Seeker missiles on that group. And, wow. Obliterated the Mutalisk clump, down from 15 to 5 damaged ones. Very nice. Got a little bit of a drop coming in here on this third base. Jester had taken the high yield, but he hadn't droned it up yet, and he's going to lose that hatchery pretty quickly. Now, this is a situation where these Banelings and Zerglings with speed are going to really shine. He's coming in here across the creep. Once he gets on the creep, oh, but he picks up and leaves, rather, so not doing his job. Oh, but he's dropping single Marines on that ball of Banelings to try and make them less cost efficient. I really like that move. And look at, oh wow, Jester's actually blowing up. He's just A-moving, and so he's blowing up like 4 or 5 Banelings for each Marine, and that is really not cost efficient. Look at that. He had like double that amount of Banelings, and he just basically killed half the Banelings with 8 Marines. So that was pretty good little harassment there, and the Mutalisks just kind of stood by. They're like, we don't really like killing dropships. GaryOak actually has a pretty sizable army here. He's starting to move out, and he's denied Jester a third base. Jester continuing to make tons and tons of Zerglings, trying to make a third base up here instead, since that's high yield didn't quite work out for him. Anyway, lots of mech units on the ground as well, and I like these Marauders mixed in. Those are going to do very well against Banelings also. And, ooh, Infestors, and he's getting, excuse me, I just sneezed. He's getting the glands for the Infestors as well, so they have more energy. I like that move. He's floated that orbital down here. Ooh, did you see that? That was Gosu, man. GaryOak, whether wittingly or not, just stimmed the front group of his Marines to chase those Mutalisks instead of stimming all of them. Uh-oh, tons of Banelings coming in here! He could kill this entire bio army if he goes down. Oh, but not in staying. Oh, that goes into the tank range. And, oh, man, he could get all those mules, or he can waste them on the orbital command, I guess. Oh, man. The mules all repairing that orbital command, just in case. A little bit of a waste of those mules' mining time, but oh well. Anyway, but here comes that large Zergling army, and oh no! What are you doing? Oh my goodness. Actually, a Seeker missile would have been pretty sweet in that clump, but he went all the way in, taking all the damage that you need to take to get close to the units, and then just when he was close to this army of mech units with Zerglings, such that he could counter them and destroy them, he instead pulled back out and took all the damage necessary to get back out again. lost a lot of Zerglings there. He still has a ton of Zerglings. Let's actually look at the count. He's got 73 Zerglings, but now it just went in half because he's morphed half of them to Banelings. He's morphing 31 Banelings right now, and he's going to need them. Ooh, oh, if he can get some fungals off on that army and then send in the Banelings, that would be epic. He would be able to destroy that Bio army pretty easily. He just needs to be very, very, very careful about these tanks because they could easily destroy all those Banelings as they come in. Looks like he's going to actually utilize this map here and kind of go up the side, and that was kind of interesting. He neural parasited the front tank, but the infestor died too quickly. Oh, the Mutalisk suicide in, do very little damage to those tanks and get owned by the Marines, and now he's able to shell all of this stuff up here. He's actually within range to shell the hatchet. Oh man, huge Hunter Seeker missile kills half the Banelings. Let's go back and watch that again. Actually, that was pretty sweet. Here comes. Oh, actually, he sent two. Oh man. Oh, that is carnage. That is carnage. And that is going to clear the way for this Bio army to run in here and finish off this Zerg building. All the drones probably. Wow. The power of the Hunter Seeker missile at low levels is just cool. And these corruptors have just been chilling here since the beginning of the game. Not really contributing much. Anyway, that's pretty much going to be it for Jester. He's saying, yeah, GaryOak, why not BC rush into Raven's Seeker missile? Yeah, good point. I don't see why not, man. Oh man. Anyway, Jester is just sticking around to discuss strategy with GaryOak. I think he knows that he's been defeated at this point. He thinks Terran is the easiest race. GaryOak thinks Protoss is the easiest race. Anyway, it's so funny how people always think that other races are easy that they don't play. It's like, well, why don't you play that race then if you think Terran's imba? Oh man, I get the lot. I used to play random, and I would get people telling me that I was imba with every race. You know, I'd beat them with Protoss, and they'd be like, oh my god, Protoss imba, and then the next game I'd get Terran, and I'd beat someone else, and they'd be like, oh my god, Terran imba. Oh man, yes, GaryOak, I think that Masters League players will start taking up your method of one base BCs into Ravens. That'll be, I think that's going to be the next wave of Terran strategy. It might even hit the pro scene. Look out for the GSL next season. MVP is going to start one base battlecruisering. Anyway, this game's pretty much over. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Props to Joe for sending me a replay, although again, I'll leave it up to you, the viewers, to decide if this was a good replay or not. Anyway, hope you guys enjoyed it one way or another. GG, thanks for watching.